Oh God, I can't believe I'm finally live on here. This is crazy. Hey family, how is everybody doing out there? It has been a long time, family. A long time. But I am so happy to be back. Yes, I am. I got my mushroom coffee and I am ready to go. Let's see, what time is it? I don't even know what time. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock. This is the earliest I've ever went live. So I'm going live on all my platforms, and I just want to um give you guys an update. So much has happened. My last video was made um 7 months ago. Um, so yeah, it's your girl, Copper Color Creations. Coming with an update, family. So, I don't even know where to begin. Um, I first want to um, update my followers. I got some followers I got to update, okay? So, family, it's been a journey. Okay, that's all I can tell you. It's been a journey. I'm excited. Um, what have I been up to? All right, so for those that don't know, I left off in Arizona. The last video was who are my ancestors, okay? And so for those that don't know what I've been going through, um, that's why I have not been able to make any videos or create any content because I have a group of men after me. Okay. Um, being a generational curse breaker. That's the name of this video. Generational curse breaker. So when I decided this journey, I knew that it wasn't going to be easy and it's not for the weak. Okay. Um, I knew that there were going to be some challenges. I knew I might lose my life. I knew what I was up against. Okay. The update for people that like my last live was what, a year ago? It was in Arizona. So I discovered that I have a group of men that want to use me as a blood sacrifice. Um, you know, and it has involved family and my ex-husband, okay? And so what I had to do is I had to leave the state of Arizona because it got a little out of control. We have uh police officers, um judges, the whole community was involved, okay? And so I had to get to safety because I had nobody but the creator. My ancestors, my spirit guides have been the only ones protecting me. Okay. And so, when you're coming with this truth, you're always going to have people coming after you. I mean, don't get me wrong, but the military, doctors, judges, um, I have the military using energy weapons on me. They have been doing this. And so it's time that we start speaking out and exposing all this wicked. Okay. So I'm back. I'm going to be doing some lives. I have a Bible study I want to do tomorrow, um, explaining to you guys about the fake alien invasion and who Jesus really is, and what's about to come. So tomorrow I have a special day planned out. Um, I'm going to be doing two platforms, but YouTube is my my main one that I want to come on live with. And I want to explain to people about what's going to happen. Um, and so I'll talk a little bit about it today as well, because I want to roll it out slowly. Um, because it's going to happen whether we like it or not. The plan is just to have us in a state of fear, to plan a fake alien invasion. And so this is the reason why they are meeting with the pastors of the churches. The government are meeting with the pastors of the churches to prepare the pastors for what's to come. And so they want everyone in fear and operating low vibrational. So when this happens, this incident happens, everybody's just going to run to the church and Jesus is going to save you. That's not the truth. Okay? Those are lies. And so my mission is to make sure that I connect to those that have ears to hear and eyes to really see what is truly going on here on American soil. Okay. All right. So, my mission is not just one mission, I have parallel projects. Okay. So, when I speak about one situation, I'm going to roll the rest out. Okay. Number two, like I said, don't vibrate off fear, shame, or guilt. All right. And you will be okay with this fake alien invasion. All right. Don't run to a church. That's for sure. All right. That's the last place you want to go. All right. Okay. So, I've just been digging. Okay. So, my genealogy and what's going on with that. So, I don't know if I've been gone so long. I don't know where I left off, but so many know that I'm doing genealogy. I have discovered so many amazing um, opportunities for me and my bloodline. Being a generational curse breaker is, you know, it's not easy. You're gonna go through a lot of heartache, pain, but it's a transformation that must take place. Okay. And so I just want to let everyone know um, the update with mine. So I found out, well, I knew, and that's kind of helped me out. Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, the first Black man to perform open heart surgery successful here in America, is my great uncle. Okay. He is the reason why Black doctors and nurses have a job here in America. They wouldn't allow so called Black nurses and doctors to operate until my great uncle opened up Providence Hospital in Chicago and allowed people of color to operate in their license and be a doctor and a nurse. Okay. That was one extravagant find. I also discovered that Pocahontas, aka Matuka, aka Rebecca, is my 12th generation great great grandmother. Okay. And that America acknowledged her as Pocahontas, the cartoon character. But over there in Europe, she's royalty. So, America has a lot of secrets, has a lot of hidden information. And I guess my genealogy is going to expose that. Okay. Okay. I also um discovered that on my mitochondrial, that's more important, your mother, okay? Number one, they lied to us. They said it was your father's DNA that keeps the bloodline going. The birthright inheritance is with the matriarchal, your mother. Okay. The mitochondrial DNA is what you want to focus on. Okay. So it's the daughter, not the son, that keeps the birthright inheritance going. With that being said, Whitney Houston and me share a direct matriarchal mother. Okay. And that's crazy because I feel like me and her, we kind of got this. I'm not saying like we act alike, but kind of like we don't take no shit. Okay. And I'm always channeling her song, The Greatest Love of All. I always channel. I'm like, why do I keep channeling Whitney Houston songs? But the main song that I channel all the time is The Greatest Love of All. Listen to that song. The greatest love of all is inside of you. If you, I listen to that song and it brought me to tears because I never really paid attention to the lyrics. The greatest love of all is inside of you. Listen to that song with a different listen to the words. Whitney is telling you the greatest love of all is inside of you. Yeah. Just like the Yahshua, Jesus character was telling everybody, hey, don't worship me. The kingdom of heaven is where? Within, right? What we do, we still want a book, we still want a savior, and we still want a church. They said the church, you are the church. You see? So I've discovered some things about my eighth generation great grandfather, Lord, out of Ireland, that'll put America to shame. Yes. I also discovered that me and Henrietta Lacks share the same matriarchal ancestor. Wow. So you see how amazing that is when you find out who you are, where you come from, so you know where you're going. It's so important because everything in your life, everything in your life is a lie. And I used to go around telling people this 5 years ago, and they used to be like, not everything. Everything in your life is a lie. You have to unlearn everything to relearn. I'm talking about everything. You have to stand on business in every sector of your life if you want to break these generational curses and survive what's to come here on earth. Okay? Now, where have I been? Well, I have a group of men that wants to unalive me. Okay? Um, I've been moving around. For those that wonder, where is Copper? Well, like I said, I have a group of men who don't want me here. Okay? And I have been up against these group of men for some time now. Okay. And these group of men are operating I don't know what they're operating off of, okay? But who they work for, I would assume the government. I don't know who these men are. Um, I know their occupations and where they work at, but I don't know the force within them um, that's making them come after me. So I had to relocate out of Arizona. Okay. I am now in Georgia. Um, and a lot of things have happened. Okay. So I don't know where I left off on my last live, but since I've been doing my genealogy and finding out who I am, I've been getting attacked. Okay. Attacked by witchcraft. And I know many people are probably like, witchcraft. Yeah. If you don't believe in it, I'm not for you. Okay. This is for people who understand and believe in the dark arts. Okay. Because if you don't believe it, you ain't going to receive it. And how can I explain my situation as someone who has no idea about witchcraft? Okay. So witchcraft, it's in, it's out here. And it's a way to attack people in secret. Okay. And so it's been going on for thousands and thousands of years. People have been getting attacked in secret. But when you are chosen for a specific assignment here on earth, none of that witchcraft will affect you. I mean, it it might ruffle your feathers a little bit, but it will not kill you. It will not harm you. Okay? So, like I said, God is not going to put you here as a star seed or a chosen to do a mission and have people coming after you. When you are divinely selected, you are divinely guided, and you are divinely protected. Okay? So I'm not operating off fear at all. I am just making sure that I protect my energy at all times. Okay. All right. So I am in a, like a two division type situation here. So 5 years ago, I decided to divorce my ex-husband and get on my journey. Okay. Um, oh, he didn't like that. It was be with him or death. Okay. So I have a fatal attraction situation going on top of these group of men that are coming for me. Okay. So yeah, I've been going through a lot. And so um it is what it is. I'm not running. I'm not hiding. Obviously, right? I'm not hiding. I just want to make sure that people know where I've been. Okay. So when you're on this mission, you're going to have people come after you. I'm fully aware of that. Okay. I've had people call me witches. I had people um, claim that I'm doing magic. Um, I don't dibble and dabble in any dark arts. I have never done anything like that. Um, but my ancestors uh, do have me protected. I am protected of any evil hoodoo, voodoo, boohoo, tutu, whatever you want to conjure up and send to me, I'm protected. Okay. So I'm not operating off fear. All right. All right. I'm just operating off awareness. All right. I'm being my whole family um is coming after me. So there is no family. Um And so I just have me and my children. And so in this season, I want to let everyone know this. Not everyone is going to be on your side. Not everyone is going to like what you say. And that's okay. You have to learn how to operate high vibrational by being your true authentic self and not giving a what people think. In this season, you can't care what people think. You have to operate with the knowledge of knowing that everyone, and I mean everyone, is not going to understand or even acknowledge what's going on in the world right now. Okay. There is a lot of distractions. I warned y'all. I said, don't get distracted. These deaths and this race baiting, you know, that is a distraction. Okay. Y'all stay focused. Okay. Because you got to understand this. There is racism in every race. Okay. There are racist black people. Black people. What is a black person? We got to stop this shit. What's a black person? What is a black person? Is it me, American Indian? Or is it my sister that's a African? Or is it my other sister that's Jamaican? Or is it my Jamaican brother? Like, what's a black person? We need to stand on business. We got to stop this black person, black people. Because there's a lot of different black people on this earth. And we are not all the same. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you an example. I have one, two, three Asian employees. Okay? And one of them I had a conversation with yesterday. We had a nice, long conversation. All right? Now, she asked the same question. She's 38 years old. She said she assumed all black people were the same. She thought the African, the Jamaican, she thought we were all one. And she says, and when I found out, it was such a relief because you guys are different. You guys don't act the same, you don't talk the same, you guys are really, and this felt good to hear this from an Asian. Okay. Now, I don't care what's going on in the world. I'm judging people off my experience, not Mr. Chow and whoever else, because I want people to understand this. There is racism with us, there is racism with the Africans, there is racism with every race. Okay? What I mean by you got some white people that are, my best friend is Mike Vanderjet, an ex NFL player, white as a paper plate, but his soul is different. He treats me like a queen. He respects me. Like there is no racism or disrespect in that relationship. That's a white man. Okay. Now, have I seen racism out here? Yeah. Has it happened to me? Of course. But what I'm trying to say is this: all my Asian friends and employees have never, ever disrespected me or treated me wrong. When I go out, Have I been treated wrong by an Asian? Yes. Have I been treated wrong by a white man? Yes. Have I been treated wrong by my own kind? Yes, I have. But that didn't change me. I didn't judge them. In my mind, I'm like, oh, one of them. See, that's it. You either vibing low or you vibing high. When you vibe high, you vibing with love in your heart. When you vibing low, you're wicked, vibing with no love. That's it. Your skin color is going to get you messed up in this world. Don't judge a person off their cover, their skin color, none of that. Because I have to be honest with people, and I don't care what anyone says. This is my experience, okay? My experience with the Asians. My best friend was Korean in high school. The Asians love me. The lady that back in Illinois 15 years ago, because I'm loyal. I stay. Once I stay, I stay. If you're servicing me, I'm gonna stay with you. In Illinois, the Vietnamese Lily, she was doing my nails. Do you know she gave me $100 as a gift? Okay. Everywhere I go, I the Asians love me. I have not one problem with them. I have I have even adopted some Asians. I cuffed them. Okay. I have four Asian sisters that invited me to Vietnam, right? My mom's nurse is Asian, okay? I connect with the Asians, baby, on a whole nother level. Now, are all the Asians like Chow? No. Are all black people like Chow? No. Is everybody in the world racist? No. I'm gonna give you an example. Over here in Georgia, matter of fact, for the record, I'm born and raised out of Illinois. I spent 10 years in Arizona, and baby, I haven't been, I haven't lived many places, but Georgia, so much love and compassion. When they say Southern hospitality, I am getting I'm getting treated like a queen here in Georgia. And sometimes I'll be like, I get a little no like I'm gonna give you an example. You go to the grocery store in Arizona, you see them people, they don't even want to be 6 feet. Like they don't want to be you go to an aisle in Arizona, they want to be far away from you and they looking at you like you're crazy. Yeah. And here in Georgia, I went to the grocery store the other day and an old white couple, they was old as dirt. The husband get out and asked me, he can't even walk. He asked me, do I need help with my groceries? I was like, and the wife, because I get that a lot with the wives, and sometimes the wives be looking at me like I looked at him and I said, no, thank you, baby. But thank you. The people here are different. I love it. I love where I'm at. I wouldn't I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm happy where I'm at, okay? The energy here is amazing. That's one thing I can say. Okay. Um, about my new location. And the Asians here are treating me even better. Okay. Like I said, I haven't had that bad experience to where it's like, I hate Asians. I hate white people. Because out of my life, and I've explained this before, um, the most help that I've ever gotten in my life has been from a white and an Asian person. My own kind wouldn't help me out when I needed it. Okay. So this boycott, it happens for a reason. All right. And me and my Asian buddies, we talk about it too. You know what they say? They say they people need a wake up call. I'm like, okay. They agree. I'm talking about the Asians I deal with. They're authentic. They're operating off of their true authentic self. They have nothing to hide. So when they talk to me, they say, Shauna, you right. They right. They need a boycott because they know their people, are look, what I'm saying? Only they know, right? Only they know. We don't know. Okay? We don't know. So this all this Asian boycotting, do your thing. Ruffle some shit up. We need change here. Okay. And there are some Asians that need to put some respect on our name. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying don't do that. No, if you've had a bad experience personally, you act off that. Don't be trying to be a follower. Be a leader. Okay. Be a leader. These other races are very, very, very clear who we are. Okay? You so called African Americans out there, if you think nobody knows who we are, the whole world know who we are. We don't know who we are. Okay? So if we allow things to keep happening, they're going to keep happening, baby. Ain't nothing going to stop until we stand on business. Number one, we got to demolish black. The word black gotta go. Do you know what that means? Black is just a status, means slave. White means free. Come on now. We have to stand on business when it comes to that. Stop calling us black. Stop calling us black. Because my African sister black, my Sudanian sister black. I got an Indian, my realtor, he black as me, but he Indian from India. And he even know who I am. See what I'm saying? Black. Anybody can be black. You can't put us, baby. You can't put us in a bowl of blackness. All right? So we got to stop that. We got to let them know, hold on. Who are we? Who are you? Where did you come from? Well, you know it ain't Africa, right? Okay. So many of us know who we are. We know that our ancestors are American. American what? American. American Indian? Whatever you want to call it, baby, because our ancestors did not call themselves Indians. Okay. So for me, Pocahontas being my great grandmother, you can't tell me who I am if you can't tell me who I'm not. You can't tell me who I am. My genealogy already told me who I was. You see? And like I said, y'all don't think those other races know who we are? They all waiting on us to wake up. They playing the game, right? I'm gonna give you an example. I moved to Georgia in a neighborhood that is full of white people. I always, I don't know what it is with me getting in these neighborhoods and these HOAs, but everything I do is a problem in my HOA. This is the second HOA that I've been fighting. So I don't entertain the fuckery. Okay? I never entertain it. I let people think what they think. I am not the neighbor to say to be all up in your face, smiling. I don't even speak to my neighbors. I respect them. If they wave to me, hi, bye, whatever. I stay to myself. I'm very private. I'm not finna go over and borrow some ketchup or some. I don't do. I'm not. I've never done any of that. Okay. And so one of the police, like I said, the neighbors are always calling the police, just for no reason. And so, and this is in Georgia. And so the police officer, he came, and I guess the HOA pays the police officers to ride around. So I'm outside, he pull up, and I'm like, hey. And he's like, I'm married. He was joking, but when he said that, I knew he was cool. So I walked up to him and he says, this came from a police officer, not me. I said, did you get a call on me again? He said, no. And if I got the call, I wouldn't come anyway. Mm, excuse me, guys. I said, why? Why? He said, because all your neighbors are haters. This coming from a police officer. I said, what? Why you think they hating? Because I'm black? He said, nah, they hating on you because they know who your real ancestors are. I was like, what? Now, that shocked me coming from him. This is a white guy, cool as heck. And I looked at him, I was like, what? Is that? I said, so I tried to play into it. I said, is that what you think? He's like, no, that's what I know. You know who you are. So I told him who I was, and he was like, wow, right? And he just was amazed. We had some good words, and it just goes to show you they know who we are, family. They know who we are. Many of us, don't know who we are. Do you know do you know what that meant for him to say that? That made me feel like, wow, to hear a police officer say, "Yeah, we know who your ancestors are." Let me just make it clear. Everybody know who we are. Mhm. Everybody know who we are but us. We still trying to hold on. I be hearing people, let me just say this. It's racism in every race. Okay? Do you know I met an African lady who don't like African Americans? Yeah, it does not matter of your skin color. You know how I operate? How you should be operating right now? Don't judge a book by its character. Know them by the fruit they bear. You can know what type of energy a person is on as soon as they open up their mouth. And that's me. Oh, oop, I'm gone. I'm not judging you off the skin color. You can be purple, pink, black, or blue. Okay? Because when I was at my lowest point in my life, nobody would help me. My own people wouldn't help me. Black people, okay, wouldn't help me. I'm talking about when I needed help, when I had my ex beating the grapes out of me. I had one person that saved my life, and he was white. If it wasn't for him, I would be dead. Yeah. So, you see what I'm saying? It's impossible for me to be racist. Okay? The Asians love me. The white man saved my life. Like, I got my realtor, the Indian. He like my best friend. Shout out to Mike Vanderjet. That's my brother from a different mother. I can call Mike up and ask him anything. I'm busy, but I can listen. He will drop. He'll do whatever. That's a white man. You see, my Vietnam sisters. I told him I'm going to Vietnam to go under a mangosteen tree and live my best life. Right? I can't uh follow the world. Okay? I have to be a leader. Okay? Now, the leader in me, ask me about Mr. Chow. Ask me about the situation. You know what I'm going to say? Number one, nobody is, everybody forgot about the spiritual realm. Nobody understands how the spiritual realm operates. Baby, the spiritual realm was here before the physical. The spiritual realm is more important than the physical realm, but people don't understand that. You see, so when I see racists like Mr. Child, because his own people, like I said, I had a meeting with his own people last night. We had a long 2-hour meet. You know what they said? He racist. Okay. I got people that look like me as racist too. So who am I to judge? All right. Now, we know Mr. Child was racist because he shot a kid over a bottle of water. Okay. But I want y'all to understand this. Okay. I am calling for all races, Asians, to be boycotted. You can't boycott someone who loves us. That's not fair. But at the same time, even the Asians feel they people needed a wake up call. You feel me? They feel like I do, right? Yes. Okay. So what I'm saying is the boycott. Yes, it's good. It's good because a lot of the racist Asians needed that wake up call. Okay? Without a test, you have no testimony. It needed to happen. They needed to be tested. And now look at 'em. The only way to get anybody to put some respect on our name, we ain't marching and we ain't begging. All we doing is pulling our energy back. See how that worked? Target, we pulled our energy back. The Asians, we pulled it. You ain't got to retaliate. You ain't got to go shoot. You ain't got to go marching. Just remove your energy. That's how you operate off anything in life. Somebody not loving you, somebody not respecting you, you pull your energy back. You're not getting what you want at your job. They're not treating you fair. Remove yourself. Pull your energy back. That's it. Now, when we go into those Asian establishments that were racist, they're going to treat us good. See? Many will go back where they came from. Let me just say this. Y'all don't know this. Many don't know this. Before, I can't speak for the Africans. I know how they get here. There's there's multiple ways to get here. If you are not an American, let me just say this because we got so many. God, I don't even know what to call us. Okay, the so-called African American man and woman. Okay, I need y'all to understand this. Why all the nationalities want to come to America? Why? Why for the Asian man, they got to have a sponsor to come over here and some big money. And my other lady, what Kim, she said it took her 21 years to establish. 21. She fought for 21 years to be an American citizen, and she had to golf up some big money. So when y'all see them Asians, it was not easy for them to get here in America on American soil. Okay, so I want y'all to think about why it costs so much money. Why it's like in the Mexicans, they just run it over here, jumping that whatever fence they got up. See, they don't have to do much. See how that is? And then the African, they got to go through so much because majority look, the African that come over here, the majority of they kids, all the Africans kids that's coming over, they going to prison. See what I'm saying? Why is everybody fighting to come on America? What is so special about America that people are risking their lives to come over here to the land of milk and honey? Okay? You have to ask yourself this. Why is everybody want to come over here? Because we're not rushing to go nowhere else. Everybody coming over here. And I had to ask myself, what do the Asians know about the Grand Canyon and Sedona that we don't know? Because Sedona is my second home, and the Japanese and the Koreans and that they flooding Sedona out. It's like a takeover. They come in buses, coach buses. Okay, they make sure their babies, they hike with their babies up. I'm watching them up on these. tall mountain peaks in Sedona just to make sure that their child sees that. What about Sedona and the Grand Canyon that makes people do that? We have this vortexes all around the world, but that heavenly vortex is in Sedona. What do they know about this land that we don't know? Y'all African. Take y'all ass over to Africa. Don't worry about what's going on over here. That's what they want. They said we were African American and that our ancestors were over in Africa. So take your black ass over there, right? The so called African American is the so called American Indian. So let me get this straight. They told you you were African, right? Disconnect you from your ancestors. But you get your superpower, your spiritual gifts from your bloodline, right? Right? You get all your gifts inherited down through your ancestors, right? Right? Okay. So if you telling me my ancestors are African and I need to go over there, but I went over there, peoples went over there and got dogged out. They called her a foreigner, charged her triple. These are her ancestors. The whole time, your ancestors' blood is on American soil. Your ancestors are buried underneath you, flooded out, burned out. Yeah, on American soil. Okay. All right. Ancient Egypt is here in America. The real frequency and vibrations is here on American soil. The oldest pyramids, the oldest trees in the whole wide world is here in America. Hmm. Your ancestors and everything they created is here in America. Okay? So wake up, do your genealogy, find out who you are, where you're coming from, so you know where you're going. Okay? Because everybody knows who you are, and you don't know who you are. All right? Now, waking up, finding out who you are and where you come from, that's not the only thing you need to be doing. How did you get to where you at? Should be your next question. How did your ancestors fall? How did they succumb? How did they do anything? Research that and then find out how you could win. Okay? Because all the information that I found out, now I see why I got these men after me. I'm about to crack the biggest code in America. Okay? So, black man, black woman, African American, they told you you were African, but you know you're not African. Why? Because they want to steal your land patents. Okay? Find out who your people are and get their information and find their land patents. You got land. America belongs to the so called African American man and woman. Yes. the whole America. But, you know, we don't know who we are. They said you're African. So you're not going to care about your land over here in America. Okay? All that stops with me. Yes, I have risked my life. Yes, I have. Okay? For this information. All right? We have two royal bloodlines running in our veins. Okay? And everybody know how powerful we are. Okay? Sorry, y'all. Goodness gracious. Everybody know how powerful we are, but we don't know. Our ancestors are just crying out to us, and we are ignoring the blood that was shed here on American soil. Because many of us are not healed. We still operating off our trauma from our child. We done been through so much. We done been gosh, look what we done been through. We done been reclassified so many times. They done burned our stuff down. We can't get no loans from the banks. Ain't y'all you tired? I'm tired. Okay? And my energy, I don't chase, I attract, I don't beg, I take. How do we get our land back? Does anyone have any idea how we get our birthright land back? Because for many that don't know, it's your birthright inheritance. Meaning when you came out your mother's womb, you were inherited America. Don't that sound crazy? When you came out your mother's womb, you were royalty. You had an inheritance, physical inherit. I'm talking about money. You're not just, we didn't just inherit our spiritual gifts. So think about it. If they told you you was African and you ain't, and you believe it, think about the spiritual gifts that you denying, that you your ancestors give. When you cut when you cut people off from their ancestors, you cut them off from their true power. So a lot of African Americans ain't even operate off our true power that's in our DNA dormant, which is just a frequency. My Bible study, we're gonna be talking about this tomorrow. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about the 1452 Papa Bull Dumdabite. We're gonna talk about that because a lot of people want to know how Christianity and Jesus got introduced to our ancestors. Our ancestors had to accept this whole situation or they were burnt alive. That's what I want to talk about. Okay? I'm gonna leave that for our Sunday Bible study tomorrow. But today I just want my peoples to understand. Use your brain. You got to use your mind. You got to have the mental capability to see clearly. Activate your third eye. Okay? Your gut, me personally, I think our gut is our first brain. I don't think this is our first brain. The gut controls everything. Every disease, everything starts in the gut. Yeah, yeah. Your intuition is your gut. Your discernment is down in your gut. Your third eye, so you can see things clearly behind the scenes, is connected to your gut. So, gut health is important for you to get this information. You want to get a solid relationship with the creator, source, that which is greater. Detox your gut. Yeah. The less food that you take in, the closer you get to your spirit guides, the angels, and the creator, source. Okay? That's why, fasting and meditating is very important right now in this season. Okay? I talk to people, oh, I eat once a day. Okay? And you get your food from grounding in the sun. So if you're out there right now walking and grounding in the sun for a couple hours, you're not going to be hungry. Your body takes the rays and transmute it. That's why you got melanin. That's what that melanin does. That melanin is a transmuter. Okay? My so-called Black African American people. We are very powerful. My Asian employee told me yesterday, she said, "You guys are powerful." I said, "Oh, well, thank you." See, you don't know your true power until you tap in. Change your diet. When I say change your diet, I ain't talking about the food you eat. I'm talking about mind, body, soul, everything. And the food, of course. Change your diet. Get whatever's clogging your pineal gland. This is your pineal gland. That's your God seat. That's